Hi, Malcolm Soosay for Paranormal Malcolm. Today we're at the Mount Pleasant Cemetery. I'm joined here with my sister, Paranormal Vault, Twyla.
Vault Paranormal?
Yeah, Vault Paranormal. And yeah, we're here to meet a very special friend. Her name is Rona Anderson. She basically started my ghost hunting back in 2000. And yeah, she's here someplace, so we're gonna walk around a beautiful cemetery. So we'll talk to you in a little bit. Hi!
Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding.
How you been? I've been following you all along on Facebook. You're doing good. Looks like you're doing a lot of movie stuff, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, big hug.
Yeah, big hug.
Hi, are you sister?
Yeah,
Hi,
Twyla.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I got my camera recording too.
So what do you guys think? Like the vibe of the cemetery is so like zen.
Mhm.
It's very zen.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
And then yet at night I have seen so many weird spirits doing things in
Here?
Yeah, there was one time, it was after a car show, and a bunch of us have hearses, and we had a car show, and our routine was after the car show, we'd drive down, we'd all park in a row. I have pictures of it. And then we would get out and just sort of talk about the year, and then there's a couple times where I had said, oh, well, why don't we go look, see if there's any spirits, because there's people there, now there's spirits. Usually when there's nobody here, there's no spirits around. No. So there's a father and son with us, and the son was really into spirit pictures and some paranormal stuff. Oh, this is so cool. I'm going to take my phone and get pictures. And his father's like, you're not going to get any pictures. There's no ghosts." Anyway, what happens is, the weirdest thing, the dad gets about 20 pictures of paranormal shit all over. The one that didn't believe. That usually never happens.
Yeah.
And the son's so jealous. He's, Dad, how'd you get that? How'd you get that?
Yeah.
But the weird thing is they were standing over here somewhere, and I'm down the hill near that bench that's down there in that area.
Yeah.
And I can see this spirit on his hands and knees crawling towards them.
Whoa.
Wow.
I don't know why, but then when it saw that I saw, it just disappeared.
Oh.
So it would probably just like done something like that.
Yeah.
Because they never really ever do anything that
Yeah.
can hurt you.
Yeah.
They just want to look scary, like I'm a tough ass, right?
Cool.
They want to look like good. They think they're Donald Trump. They think
Oh.
they're really tough, but they're silly inside, right?
Yeah. So we wanted to just meet up and talk with you. And
Yeah.
maybe answer some questions and maybe walk around a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'll put my stuff in the car.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a really pretty cemetery.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically 98% of the spirits that we encounter are all good. Sometimes they just want to be mischievous. Sometimes they're little kids that, oh, she'll know that I'm here if I do this. The 1 or 2%. And those are the ones that show up at the places I got to go to mostly.
Oh.
Yeah.
You see this video about that one? It's like a hall. It's like it's an abandoned place. There's a woman there. She always laughs at him. And when I walked through there by myself, it seemed like something moved towards me. I could feel, you know how somebody moves like this to walk towards me, and it was like right beside me. I could hear it.
Wow.
I just got scared.
Could you feel it in here? Could you
No,
feel it on your back?
I felt it on the side.
On the side, okay.
But I even heard it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it on the back where you feel them?
Well, I feel if there's something in the room or it's coming towards me, I feel it on my back.
Yeah.
But also, if there's spirit energy, my left leg starts to tingle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I usually feel it on my side because
See, everybody has a different area, right?
And I feel, you know how you can feel somebody that's coming towards you?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, you're feeling their outer energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you feel something and it's not tingly or anything. You just feel like something.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Because I told him, it's like, I got scared. As soon as I heard that footstep coming towards me, I was out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I worked in this one building when Ben and I were working as janitorial company, and it was a curling place. And I was doing the bottom of the curling place. There were bathrooms and then there were seating areas and stuff. So I had to clean all that. And then upstairs he had the bar and some washrooms and a kitchen area, and he had to clean that area. And Ben had said he'd seen this old guy behind the bar, the spirit, and he was talking to him. And I said, oh, that's nice. I said, you know, you don't hardly talk about when you contact spirits. You talk to them. Oh, well, I don't think I'm really seeing anything. I said, no, you are, because I can hear you talking and you're having an actual conversation. And I'm hearing something else in the background, so someone's there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm in the basement and I have to go clean, and I'm going down the hallway towards the washrooms, and all of a sudden, boom, I feel something right behind me.
Yeah.
And then so my spirit guide said to me, there's two men behind you, and when they were alive, they were rapists.
Oh.
And they're wanting you to go into the women's washroom. And I thought, well, what do they want? They want me to go sit down and pee? Like, woohoo, what are they going to do? Like, what? And I got really angry because this was really bothering. Can't function. If somebody is right behind you and your spidey senses are saying, I can't turn around because there's something there and it's bothering me, I had to get rid of them. And I got rid of them really quick. And they were shocked because they didn't realize
You knew how to do
that
that.
I knew how to do that. And they were like, no, boom, they were gone. It was, but that's horrible. And I can imagine there's spirits in different buildings who are like that, going around and making people nervous and scary, and they don't know why, because they can't see them.
Yeah.
But they're out there.
Yeah.
Those are the 2%, you know. They walk and I mean, everyone says, oh, they're evil and they're doing this. They're evil, but in life they were evil.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
When they were in physical form, they're evil. When they're in spirit form, then they're shapeable or malleable, or do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they aren't really who they think they were.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Because their spirits, they now belong to the ball.
Yeah, the ball.
And the ball's going to say, no, you can't do that to people. You need to come back. You should have crossed over.
The kids,
yeah, I mean, that's what I say to kids, and I don't know how I got that, but I thought I have to do the simplest thing I can, and I don't want to bring religion into it, because you don't know what parent is right, because all these parents, they could be like born again Christians, or they could be Muslim, or they could be Jehovah or whatever, and it's like I gotta say something that's not going to bend any of the religious thinking. But you know what, even when I do it, if the parents don't like it, the kids respond to it, and they're like, yeah, we know that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because it just shows everyone we're not alone, and we're not just one person on earth.
Yeah.
We're all a part of a larger thing.
And we're not judged as much.
No, not at all. We're part of the ball. We all look like the ball.
Yeah.
You know, down here we look all different, but up there, everybody's the same, and we're one big happy family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get this interview on the road.
All right.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Malcolm Soosay. My sister is here too. We're here with Rona Anderson, a very good special friend of ours. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have some questions about the paranormal, about the ghost hunting, and why we do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here we have a professional,
So to speak. Yeah.
so to speak. Okay. So maybe you can explain on when as a child, you knew that you had the gift of
Yeah.
that stuff that you do.
So I didn't realize right away that I had psychic experience. Apparently, when I was about 3, my mom always found me talking in my room to somebody, some corner or something, not a doll, but something else. And finally, before she died in her 80s, she told me, she said, Rona, you were talking to a spirit in there, and you told me that it was a man, and his name was Glick, and he would talk to you for hours. And I looked up the name Glick, and it's a German name, so maybe it was a male German spirit who used to come and talk with me. But since then, since being 3, I would see things and say to somebody, did you see that? And then they go, no. What did you see? And then you'd say, oh, well, I saw this big, like, shadowy thing go like this. No, I didn't see anything. My sister, I would tell her in our bedroom, did you see that thing by the doorway? Did you see the closet open by itself? No. Mom, Rona's trying to scare me again. So as a kid, when you see a lot of stuff, and I understand all the children and teenagers out there who feel like they're alone because they see things and no one believes them, believe that you do see them, but also believe there are others who know you see them. It might not be your friends or family, but we know that you see them. We know. And so as I got older, my parents separated, divorced when I was about 11, and we moved in with my grandparents who lived in a town called Barrie, which is in Ontario. And as soon as I moved in there, the paranormal stuff just exploded. I would see and hear metal cutlery fall off the counter by itself. I'd hear voices in the kitchen and nobody was in there. We had a basement that was creepy. And we had what you call a cold storage room where my mother's belongings were in temporarily. It's usually where you store food and canned stuff and dried stuff and all that. But my mother hadn't unpacked, and so she had some of her stuff in this room, and I remember going in there and sneaking into her boxes to see what she had. And I brought out this framed portrait of a really beautiful woman and a handsome young man, and they're in wedding gear. And I went, well, who is this? And I thought, well, why does she have so many pictures of this guy? He's not on the wall. And so I went upstairs and I said, Mom, who is this? Well, you can see the faces drop. Oh, that's your Uncle Graham and your Aunt Lorene, and they died in a car accident. Oh, I said, well, why don't you have their picture out? Oh, it's very uncomfortable for us right now. So I put it back. Then what would happen is a couple years later, I would hear a lady with a long dressing gown going along the floor of the hallway up to my bedroom. And this is about 3 a.m. So they say 3 a.m. is like magic time. It seems to be the time when your senses are more open to receive stuff than anything. It has nothing to do with the devil or any other bad thing. It's just your relaxation from sleep, and then all of a sudden you're open at that time. And I remember every night sitting there with the covers going up, because I was scared. I didn't understand about ghosts. I didn't know what these things were. And so I had my cover up like this and going, oh, go away, go away, go away, go away. And they would go away. And then the one night I heard it, and I thought, okay, I'm going to find out what the hell this is. And I ran to the door and I opened it. There's nothing there, but you heard it come right up to the door. So I went and woke my mom, and I said, Mom, I said, something's going on. There's a woman coming up and down the hall every night, and she's scaring the crap out of me, and I want you to tell me who the hell it is. She didn't know what I was talking about. She goes, go to sleep. What's wrong with you? Do we have to send you to somebody? And I'm thinking, oh, wow, because it's puberty time, right? And it's like, So finally, I found out through the spirits, because there was one in the basement, and the one in the basement was really scary, that actually my aunt and uncle, it was a murder-suicide. And nobody wanted to talk about it. But they wanted everybody to know, ever since I'd taken the picture out of the box, that they existed at one time. Yes, he did bad stuff, and she unfortunately died from what he did.
Oh.
But they both still loved everybody, and they just wanted to be remembered for the good stuff. And they were very sad. So that was sort of like my epiphany that I got. The other creepy things I saw in the house was I had a guy that was 7 feet with this hat on. You know how everybody talks about Hat Man? Well, man, I saw a Hat Man that gives you nightmares. And he had to be 7 feet tall from what I could see in my bedroom to measure it. And he had a hat on. It was kind of crumply, like it was a black hat, but it was kind of crumply. And he said nothing to me. He just stared at me. And I said, like, what do you want? Are you trying to take one of the myths, are you trying to take my soul from me while I'm sleeping? Because they can't do that. And he didn't say anything. And then I closed my eyes because I wanted him to leave. And then he finally left. So with all of these paranormal experiences, the majority I had between 11 and 18 were really scary, and I really wasn't understanding any of them. So as I got into my 20s, I finally was able to close off some of my psychic ability and just lead a normal life for a while. And then just, I think I was about 21 or 22, I had a dream. It was at my mom's house. We had moved to Alberta by that time, in Edmonton, and I was in a bed and I was sleeping, and I woke up, and here's this little toddler boy covered in blue with stars all over him. And I'm looking at him, I'm going, who are you? And he said, Mommy, I got a scared dream. Can you tuck me into bed? And I said, okay. And I get up and he disappears. And I'm thinking, well, is that ever weird? And then next night I had experience with a cat crawling up the bed to me, and it was meow. And I started petting it, and I woke up and it was gone. Well, what happened is, so many years after that, I got my own place. I ended up getting a cat that did the exact same thing in the dream, the exact path up my body, and meowed in my face. And then a couple years after that, I had my son, and he reenacted the same experience as when this little blue boy came up to me and said that same stuff. And I looked at him, and I thought, that was the blue boy. It's the same size, same face, same voice. And I thought, so spirits were trying to tell me you are going to have new life in your life, and to love, and here they are, and take care of them, kind of thing. So yeah, that was, you can have a lot of good experiences, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, your ghost hunting, when did that actually start?
Yeah, I mean, I never really...
Well, not ghost hunting, just investigating.
Well, it was actually ghost hunting in the beginning, right? Because I don't know if you guys remember that show that came out, Most Haunted from Britain. And I was really excited because I thought, oh, here's a show about someone going into castles and they're going to capture spirits and they're going to find out the real thing. No, that's not what the show was. It was this woman, and something would say something down the hallway or touch her, and she'd scream and run off. And it was like, well, you screwed it up. You could have caught them. What the heck? So I thought, I'm able to see spirits. I should go see if I can get spirits to come on to my camera, video, and voice recorder. So we ended up going on to Facebook many, many years ago, and got into a meetup group, and they were involved in wanting to get together as a group and go hunt ghosts. So Ben and I, my husband, we joined, and we were going to go do this. It lasted maybe, I don't know how many weeks, but we're the ones that had the equipment, and everybody else said, oh, can I borrow your equipment? Oh, can you go and buy one of these pieces so we can use it? And it's like, You guys have to pony up and get
Yeah.
some equipment too. We can't be the only ones.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there was some politics and other stuff that happened, and Ben and I thought, well, you know what, we could probably do better
Mm-hmm.
just going out on our own and seeing what we can find.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were able to get in touch with, like, the calls started coming in. People had actual businesses where stuff would go on after work when people were still trying to work overtime in some warehouses and stuff. We got calls from people that they're so scared they're sleeping in the car, they can't go in their house. We got calls from, you know, kids that were having incredible fright problems, so they couldn't go into this one room in the house. The calls were on, and we started doing these investigations and caught a lot of stuff. We caught a lot of video with things happening in it. We caught a lot of EVPs, some photographs, really good photographs. We helped a lot of people, but at that point, I said to Ben, we're not really doing enough, because we're going in there, we're finding these spirits, and then we're telling people, yeah, you have ghosts. Bye, see you. We'll see you later. And it's like, well, we can't do that. We have to get rid of them for them. Not only do we have to find them, we have to tell these people who the spirits are, why the spirits are there, and then get the spirits to go to the proper place.
Yeah.
And help these people in case spirits come again, so they can handle it. Yeah. So that's basically how we've been operating for the last 20 years. And you know, we don't just leave people hanging. I mean, you know, we'll tell the people in depth, like, you had 5 spirits. These 2 spirits said that they were, you know, this and this, and the other spirit said they were just there to watch the other 2 spirits. And and then,
so they're pretty,
most of them are pretty open. The really, really bad ones are not. They usually don't want to talk. They're embarrassed by the time they get caught. They don't want to say why they were there or what they were doing. So, yeah,
they're embarrassed.
Oh,
Wow.
oh yeah. I've got some stories about these guys. They were pure evil when they were alive, but they were anywhere from, you know, domestic violence people to pedophiles. And this one spirit that was in this girl's bedroom, everybody thought he was bothering the boy because the boy played drums and guitar, and the spirit looked like a music guy. Thought he was interested in the music. And then I discovered, no, he's in the girl's room all the time, his little sister.
Oh.
And of course, the spirit can't do anything to them. But in their mind, to be around the child and try to see what they used to do, just sort of gives them the same rush that when you get scared, the spirit gets an electrical charge out of it, right?
Wow.
So, yeah, so I got him, and I said, what the hell, you should have just crossed over. Why would you stay and do this to a family, and especially to a child? And, well, you know, he was really trying to be apologetic and all this stuff. And, you know, I just crossed him over, because it was like, nobody needs any spirit. Like, oh yeah, definitely, very much so.
Let's make sure I'm still recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna drink the water.
Yeah, my light shut off, so. Should
Yeah.
have charged it.
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, this is continuing from Rona's interview.
Okay, so advice to people that want to be ghost hunters. I've been doing this for many, many years. I've seen probably over 250 spirits. And if you are going to go, quote unquote, hunting spirits, you need to be respectful, number one, of the land that you're on, the building you're in, and the spirits that could be there. So you honestly need to ask the spirits, I'm going to do an investigation. Can I take pictures of you, and will you talk into my recorder so that I can have your voice? And then ask not stupid questions. Like, don't ask stupid questions, because you know what? They're not going to answer you. So ask them very respectful questions and give at least a half a minute break between questions so you can hear them answer. And the other thing is spirits speak at a higher vibrational level. So a lot of times when you're listening for those EVPs, females are able to hear it a lot better than males because it's a higher vibration. So you need to twerk your recording listening device so that you can hear what they're saying, so you don't sort of garble everything. The other thing is when you're taking photographs, take 3 in succession in one area. And if you get a feeling something's over there, then quickly take a picture because it probably is. The other thing is if you don't believe in ghosts and you're just doing this to disprove everything, you're not going to get very much stuff out of anyone. If you believe and you really do want to know about the spirit world, then you will receive things on your camera and your EVPs. And after you see them come up on your camera, or you know that you've got something on your EVP, give them a thanks and just, thanks for being with me and doing this. Please ignore all the TV shows. Don't do what any of the TV shows do. And if you're at a point where you're ghost hunting and you see something and it looks paranormal and you scream and run, then ghost hunting isn't for you. Then don't do it. That's my advice. Oh, and write everything down that happens. Everything. Make a journal.
Yeah.
Because everything matters. Everything, the pictures, the video, the voice recording, and then your notes, you can figure out pretty much, well, I wonder what this is and why they're there. So that's my advice.
Yeah. Also, are there any trinkets or good luck charms, like for protection from the evil ones?
No.
Nothing.
No, crosses don't matter to them. It doesn't matter if you're wearing your mother's good luck charm from the 1930s or you've got 100 exorcist crosses around your neck. They don't care. They could care less. And smudging doesn't do anything. The spirits think it smells stinky like farts, and they'll just stay away for so many days and then come back again. The real way to get rid of spirits is you have to have somebody who can see the spirits, talk to them, and then get the spirits physically crossed over into the light. Mm-hmm. That's another interview thing.
Yeah, and that's my next question. How do you get rid of spirits, or how do you help them?
Yeah. Well, and some people are able to talk to them and say that they felt the spirit is crossed over, which is good. I mean, if you can do that, do it. However, in my experience, the ones that are really quote unquote haunting people or scaring them or really getting a lot of energy from them, they don't want to leave just because you've told them to leave. So usually you need to get in someone that does spirit removal, which is what I do. And what we do is we come into your house and we see where the spirits are. So your spirit could be 10 miles down the road or outside your house or in your basement, but we have to get a bead on them, like a radar, like a tracker. And as soon as we do, they come right to us. They can't get out of that beam. It's like they're trapped in the beam. And so usually I try to find out before I cross them over, why are you here? Why are you bothering this person? Did you know that you're scaring these people? Do you have something that you just wanted to say to them or wanted them to do? And so I'll get the story from them, and then I'll tell them that they need to cross into the light. What happens for me is I have a door that opens. It's like a round portal, and it's light, and they basically go into the light, and the portal closes. And if I get a spirit who is really, really aggressive and swearing at me, and he doesn't want to go and says, do whatever you want to do, I'm not leaving, then what happens is there's another being that will come out, and they will literally grab this spirit and jerk him in. Or I've seen lassos come out around their neck and they pull them in. Or I've seen this big, like a Hoover thing, and they've hoovered them into the light. So there's all kinds of ways they get them in there. But no matter what, once they go over there, I hear this. I know that the door's closed.
Like the clap.
The room is different with the vibration, and they're gone. And
Wow.
my clients usually know as soon as I do that, what happened? I heard something or I felt something, and it
Yeah.
feels different. And I go, yeah, because he's gone now.
Yeah.
So that's what you need to do. Don't throw things at it or smudge it, or power of Christ compels you. They don't care. They don't care what you do. You can throw anything you want at it. It's basically negotiating and getting somebody from the other side to help. Well, that's basically it.
Wow. All right, you can say that. Okay. Getting rid of a spirit removal.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Okay, so spirit removal is basically going to somebody's house. Usually I'll feel that there's a spirit there or outside the house as soon as I get in. And so what I do is I usually get a bead or a tracker on the spirit, and that spirit will be brought into me so I can talk to him, ask him why he's there. Was he there to see a specific person? Why was he doing what he was doing? And the fact that the spirit has to cross over. Mm-hmm. And if I get any spirits that are belligerent or assertive or really aggressive, I usually get help from the other side. So what happens is I have a portal that opens. It's a very bright light, and these spirits will go to it. They're usually greeted. They can see their loved ones on the other side of this, so that some of them really hurry into there, but their loved ones are on the other side, sort of, got their hands up like, I want to give you a hug. So they go in, but the ones that don't want to go, they actually get a spirit form that will come out and help drag them into the light. I've seen different methods of spirit dragging them into the light. So one was lasso around the neck. Another one was just getting pulled actually by the top of their outfit and straight up into the air.
Wow.
Another one was getting vacuumed, like a big Hoover thing in. And then I've just seen one come out, and it was this guy's mother. This spirit had done some really, really nasty things when he was alive, and nasty things when he was dead. And I'd asked them, I said, who did you love the most? And he had expressed the fact that he really loved his mom. And so I asked for his mother to come out to bring him in. Mm-hmm. And as soon as she came out from the portal and saw him and touched his hand, he turned into a 13-year-old little boy. And she brought him into the light. So it must have been when he was 13 that he started doing all these negative things. Mm-hmm. But then he turned into a young boy to cross over with his mom. So that was kind of touching to see that, with all the horrible things that he'd done to this family, that he was in the townhouse that he was in with them. So yeah, that was very touching.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just amazing and heartbreaking at the same time.
It is, but you have to realize everybody that goes over, there's nothing but love, because when that portal opens, you get this overwhelming sense and feeling of love, and it just, you just get tingly everywhere, almost like you want to go into the portal. Like it's everybody's in there. Everyone you've ever known who's died, everyone you've ever loved who's died, they're in there. So anyway, that's...
Muggles.
Yeah, muggles.
Yeah, muggles.
So yeah, that's the be all and end all of it. I don't know. That's
a muggle.
Is that a guy that works here? Or?
I don't know.
Did he have a uniform on? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had one more question. Okay, for all those that have lost loved ones,
Yeah.
is there anything that they should know from about the
Yeah,
other
I mean,
side?
the thing with loved ones is, and the majority have crossed over. I should really explain to people first before I do that what it means when you say spirits are haunting, they're earthbound, or they've crossed over. The spirits that I go after are spirits of people who've died and they haven't crossed over to the other side. The spirits of your family and loved ones that come to see you have crossed over. That's why they're allowed to come back to see you in love. And so what they do is sometimes as soon as you mention them, or you're bringing up their name with people, or you're thinking about them, they are there for a second around you. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll try to give you clues so that you knew that they were there with you. Some of them will even try to maybe touch your hair, or just give a tug on something, or make something move. And they're not trying to do something scary. They just want to say, hey, I heard that you're talking about me. I love you. I'm here. So just for people to be aware of that fact when they're talking about somebody, especially when people are having parties, and they love being at parties with their family and friends. And so if the light in the room was dim at a party and you get your camera and you have that vibe on that you're going to get some paranormal pictures, you'll get lots of these spirit orbs around all your family, because it's other family members staying in there. And I know people have a problem with the spirit orbs saying they're dust. Huge difference between dust and spirit orbs. Spirit orbs have a aura, they have an outline, and then they have this inside that's like almost like a molecular inside. And usually they'll have a very faint semblance of an animal or a human face in it. If you look really closely, you will see. And, I would hope that would give people some peace of mind.
Yeah.
Because when you have family get-togethers, your other family's there.
Yeah.
They really are. When they say, oh, they're here in spirit, they are there in spirit.
Awesome. Okay, my last question is, what should we ask?
Did you want to ask me how I deal with children with the paranormal? And I can
Okay.
talk about the...
Okay, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you could just start with that.
Okay, so a lot of families will call me in because their children are frightened. They're having paranormal experiences. The parents don't know how to cope with it. I mean, that is normal. Not everybody grows up knowing paranormal and how to deal with it. So of course, I'm going to go to the house expecting everybody to be fearful about it. So I usually will go into wherever the child says they usually see the spirit, and I will get the spirit. I'll find out what the spirit's doing there, what their name is. Usually I'll ask what they thought of the child, because the kids kind of want to know that. Like, what did they think? Did they think I was nice? Or, even though they're scared, they wanted to know what the spirit thinks of them.
Yeah.
And then I would get rid of the spirit. And then I would go to the parents and the child and sit them down and teach them a little bit about paranormal activity and what they can do for themselves. And so I try to keep religion out of it. I try to be aware that everybody has their own beliefs. But what I show them is usually it's a ball of putty or Play-Doh. And I say, this is the ball of Play-Doh. And this is you when you were first born. And I take a piece of the Play-Doh and I put it down. And I said, so your mom and dad are already down here, and here's you. And then I said, and something happens, and sometimes grandma or grandpa has to go back to the ball of Play-Doh. And I told them, I said, what's happened is the spirit came from this ball of Play-Doh, came to where we were. Something happened and they were supposed to go back, but they didn't. So they just hovered around and did things they weren't supposed to do, like scare people or make them feel sick or different things. And I said, so I'm going to take this spirit and get him back to the Play-Doh. And a lot of the kids I talk to say, yeah, we know how that works. I'm going, what? They're knowledgeable. Like they said, yeah, the Play-Doh thing. The spirits were all part of this one ball, they said. And it's like, wow, like kids are way more smarter than we give them credit
Yeah.
for. Just amazing. Really, they are. And if you talk to kids like an adult about the paranormal and just let them know that they're not solid like us, they're spirits that left their bodies and they're supposed to go somewhere, but they haven't. They've gone to your house for some reason. And, you know, don't be afraid of them. They're not going to do anything like they do in the movies to you. But know this, 99% of all spirits are good and friendly. And the reason why most spirits come to your house and they're haunting it, quote unquote, is because they're attracted to either you, something in the house, something you do like a hobby or a profession you have, or they just love the way you and your family act together. And those are a lot of the reasons that I've found that spirits are in the houses of people.
Fantastic. Okay, one more last question.
Okay.
Okay, what should people do when if they have a haunting, like a real bad one?
A bad one, yeah.
What's a person to do?
The first thing you need to do, number one, keep a journal. Every room it happens in, every hour it happens in, every day that it happens in, keep a journal and write, May 1st, the kitchen, 2:20 p.m., or the bedroom, May whatever, and 3 in the morning. Write it down. Write down as much things as possible, because the more you get in tune with the paranormal, I know people think it's scary, but the more you get in tune with the paranormal, the better you are to figure it out and handle it. And keeping a journal, number one, keeps you sane, but also when you read it, you go, hey, I really did experience this. This wasn't in my head. This really happened. And if somebody comes to help you with that spirit, you can show them the journal, and that might help them too. If it really is scary, where the thing is trying to touch you or is appearing in front of you in a scary format, then by definitely call a spirit removal specialist like me, because they have to get out of your house. They shouldn't be doing that. Now, number one, they'll never kill you. They can't do bad things. I know they can leave scratch marks. I know that they can leave some marks on your body, but those are marks that are caused psychically. They didn't really imprint them with actual claws or whatever. And the things that you are scared of, like if you're scared of a werewolf, or you're scared of a guy in a scream mask, or you're scared of clowns, or you're scared of whatever, they can show up in that form to scare you. But that's what they're doing. They're like some bonehead coming in your house with a costume on, being an asshole, so kick them out. So basically, tell them to leave. They're not welcome. And if they don't leave, you're going to get a spirit removal person to come in and get them out.
And they would call you.
They can call me.
Yeah, they
Depends
can call
what
you.
province they're in. There's
Yeah.
other ones.
Well, you get called into the States too.
I get called into a lot of places. I've actually done some remote removals, which I'm shocked that worked.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked. But I can't travel very much anywhere now, and I wish I could. I'd love to go to the States and do spirit removals. That'd be
Well,
cool.
who knows? We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, Rona, I really enjoyed.
Thank you.
And number one, I wanted you to meet my sister.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's great meeting you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
nice to
known
meet you
Rona
too.
for a little over 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she started me on my ghost hunting research thing. But yeah.
How
it's
did
really
we
good.
meet anyway?
We met through a videotape.
Did you send us a videotape or what?
Yeah, videotape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the videotape.
Wow. Yeah, you've helped us with a bunch of investigations too. Like that's just been great.
Yeah, I was there during a spirit removal, one we don't really talk about.
No, and it involved a lot of indigenous people too, and that was like, I hope everything is sort of half rectified there.
Yeah, no kidding.
Makes you
Okay.
angry. Okay.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys, and this is Malcolm Soosay for Paranormal Malcolm with Rona Anderson.
Paranormal Rona.
Yep, Paranormal Rona. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye-bye. See you in the next video.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to